creating a linkage between India's MSME base and big companies. What is foreign direct investment (FDI)? Throw light on its importance to the Indian economy. 2 in the domestic input market etc. Substantiate with examples. Conclusion. Conclude by summarizing. Introduction. Foreign direct investment (FDI) is when a company takes controlling ownership in a business entity in another country. It is, thus, a purchase of an interest in a company by a company or an investor located outside its borders. For nearly a decade, year after year, India has hit record heights of foreign direct investment (FDI) inflow. The latest is the highest ever, $83.5 billion, in the last financial year. Body. FDI, an important source and force behind economic development of India. Economy. O. Capital inflows create higher output and jobs. O. Capital inflows can help finance a current account deficit. O. Long-term capital inflows are more sustainable than short-term portfolio inflows. Insta-secure. Insta-secure synopsis. Telegram, https YouTube, http Facebook, https:/. For e.g., in a credit crunch, banks can easily withdraw portfolio investment, but capital investment is less prone to sudden withdrawals. O. Acts as a bridge by filling up budgetary gap, stabilize rupee and improves balance of payment situation. Knowledge economy. O. Recipient country can benefit from improved knowledge and expertise of foreign multinational. Employment generation. O. Creates employment opportunity mainly in service sector and ITEC. O. Investment from abroad could lead to higher wages and improved working conditions, especially if the MNCs are conscious of their public image of working conditions in developing economies. Infrastructure development. O. FDI in construction, railways accept operation help in developing projects like high-speed train, freight corridor, etc. Taxation. O. Increased revenue in the form of corporate tax and for community welfare development as CSR. Enhances competition. O. Increased competition among domestic manufacture may lead to improved quality and services. FDI, not the sole solution for India's socio-economic issues. The motive of the foreign investors is only profit, not the development of country, so they often shift their bases in search of high profits, so there is more volatility and speculations in capital market. With their sudden exit, there may be unemployment and high inflation. Gives multinationals controlling rights within foreign countries. Critics are powerful. MNCs can use their financial clout to influence local politics to gain favorable laws and regulations. FDI does not always benefit recipient countries as it enables foreign multinationals to gain from ownership of raw materials, with little evidence of wealth being distributed throughout society. Multinationals have been criticized for poor working conditions in foreign factories, e.g., Apple's factories in China. It threatens existing markets that are labor-intensive by replacing with technology as in multi-brand retail. FDI favors short-term returns over investments in Insta-secure synopsis. Telegram, https://t.me. YouTube, Facebook, Diffusion of technology is difficult in a country where the state of both human and physical capital is not yet on par with developed countries. So with the increase in technology, many unskilled workers lost their jobs. In India, FDI is sector-specific like finance, banking, insurance and outsourcing, which predominantly employ skilled workers. The capital inflow at times worsen the regional inequalities. It is usually limited to urban and well-developed regions like Delhi, Maharashtra etc. and states like Orissa receives around 1% of FDI. This makes richer region more rich and poor regions poorer. FDI may be a convenient way to bypass local environmental laws. Developing countries may be tempted to compete on reducing environmental regulation to attract the necessary FDI. Way forward. Conclusion. Role of FDI can at most be seen as complementary and qualitative in nature. Government must bring reforms to encourage MSME sector, which could boost the rural employment generation. Public expenditure for investment in capital formation as infrastructure and energy is for long-term benefits of spurring economic activity and creating short-term demands. Spending on social sectors and India's pressing issues of poverty, demographic challenge and agrarian stagnation are towards avoiding social unrest and maintain a social security net. Government, while continuing to simplify processes to attract FDI, must realize its limited role and thereby take upon itself to make headway towards strengthening pillars of economic development, which are health, education, and employment. Value addition. FDI in India. FDI is an important monetary source for India's economic development. Economic liberalization started in India in the wake of the 1991 crisis, and since then, FDI has steadily increased in the country. India today is a part of top 100 club on ease of doing business (EODB) and globally ranks number 1 in the Greenfield FDI ranking. Routes through which India today is a part of top 100 club on ease of doing business (EODB) and globally ranks number. Economic liberalization started in India in the wake of the 1991 crisis, and since then, FDI has steadily increased in the country. India today is a part of top 100 club on ease of doing business (EODB) and globally ranks number 1 in the Greenfield FDI ranking. Routes through which India gets FDI. Automatic route. The non-resident or Indian company does not require prior nod of the RBI or Government of India for FDI. Government route. The government's approval is mandatory. The company will have to file an application through Foreign Investment Facilitation Portal, which facilitates single window clearance. The application is then forwarded to the respective ministry, which will approve reject the application in consultation with the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce. DPIIT will issue the standard operating procedure SOP for processing of applications under the existing FDI policy. Importance of domestic resource mobilization DRM. Insta-Secure Synopsis. Telegram, Insta-Secure Synopsis. Insta-Secure Synopsis. Telegram, YouTube, HTTP, Facebook, In low-income countries confronting widespread poverty, mobilizing domestic resources is particularly challenging, which has led developing countries to rely on foreign aid, foreign direct investment, export earnings and other external resources. Nevertheless, there are compelling reasons to give much more emphasis to DRM. Greater reliance on DRM is vital to elevating economic growth, accelerating poverty reduction and underpinning sustained development. High-growth economies typically save 20 to 30% or more of their income in order to finance public and private investment. DRM is potentially more congruent with domestic ownership than external resources. Foreign aid invariably carries restrictions and conditionality. FDI is primarily oriented to the commercial objectives of the investor, not the principal development priorities of the host country. DRM is more predictable and less volatile.